Live from Nasdaq's global headquarters in Lower Manhattan. Welcome to a live edition of Nasdaq Advisory Live on Facebook, brought to you by Nasdaq Corporate Solutions. I'm a tongue-tied Will Briganti, your host, and joining me today is Adam Lazarus. Adam, good to see you back.
Great to be here, Will.
Welcome back from the long Memorial Day weekend. For all of our viewers, Adam Lazarus is an advisory services analyst with Nasdaq Corporate Solutions and is our guest today. Adam, obviously it's a shortened week. How have stocks fared this week?
Fair enough. Well, for the first 2 days of this shortened week, they have gone lower. Well, today is a little higher, but it's been lower because of oil has gone down after OPEC disappointed the markets last week, which has sent energy companies lower. The financials haven't been doing too well this week. We have seen Amazon eclipse the $1,000 threshold for the first time, and we ended up closing the month of May yesterday, seeing the Nasdaq 100 now up for the 7th month in a row. However, small caps didn't fare so well, and they had their worst month since October.
Yeah, that convergence is certainly something that we need to be paying more attention to. But obviously, kudos to the greater sort of Nasdaq family, with Amazon reaching that $1,000 share milestone. Obviously, a significant milestone for the company and for the Nasdaq stock market.
Yeah, would have been nice to own Amazon a few years back.
That's right. All right, so let's switch gears. Obviously, the month of May is now over. What should our viewers be looking for as we head into the month of June?
Sure. Well, June has a Federal Reserve statement on interest rates and a press conference right after in the middle of the month. There's also a bunch of investor conferences where individual companies will be making presentations, and they could be making an update to their second quarter guidance. Also could announce a stock buyback. There's lots of potentials at these meetings. But first off, to start off this month, we now have later this week the always important May jobs number, unemployment rate, and the average hourly earnings.
Right, and so what happens if that number comes in as expected?
Sure. Yeah, so of course the Federal Reserve is going to be paying a lot of attention to it because they're very data dependent outside of the investor community. So if they do come in, so right now the market's expecting approximately 185,000 jobs to be created in May, and also average hourly earnings to be up 0.2%. Now the unemployment rate, the Fed has said, is pretty close to full employment. So if it moves in either direction a little bit, it's really irrelevant. So we're more paying attention to the other two figures. And if they do come in above what the market is expecting, we will likely see the Fed raise interest rates later this month, which will be the second time this year and the third since the election. And then we're also going to start paying attention as they're trying to normalize rates. What's going to happen now that a lot of debt is going to be coming due?
Right, so obviously there is a lot of debt out there.
Yes, a lot.
Right.
So, and it's from corporate to sovereign debt to auto loans, student loans, personal, secured and unsecured. So if interest rates do go up, it's likely that the payments to pay back some of this debt will increase.
Sure. And so obviously it would seem that the Federal Reserve Board will take this into account.
Yes.
So what's currently on their balance sheet, and then how would they look to offload some of that?
Okay. So right now the Fed's balance sheet is approximately $4.5 trillion. And it's made up of treasuries and mortgage securities. Now, the likely way they will unwind it is not by selling bonds, but by when the treasuries mature, they don't reinvest that money. So it's not going to be any selling, it's just over time, gradually over a few years, by not reinvesting it and just letting it roll over, the balance sheet will likely come closer to the $2 trillion market. So unfortunately for the average American, we can't really just roll over and with our debt.
No, of course, of course. Well, Adam, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there for today. It's been great having you back on the program. Thank you so much for giving us a preview on what our viewers should be looking for the month of June. So for our viewers out there, obviously keep an eye out on the Fed. That meeting is going to take place the week of June 12th. I believe the meeting will start on the 13th. The press conference will begin on the 14th.
Yes.
And so for all of our viewers out there that are in the investor relations community, Nasdaq Corporate Solutions and Nasdaq Advisory Services, Adam's team, will have a very large presence at the National Investor Relations Institute annual conference, which is going to take place starting Sunday through next Wednesday in Orlando, Florida. We'll be there. We'll be reporting live from the Nasdaq booth, bringing you market updates from Nasdaq Advisory Services. Adam's colleagues will be on site all week on both Facebook and on Twitter, so be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And we'll do a special recap show next week. So, Adam, thanks again for being here.
It's been a pleasure.
Have a great weekend, and to all of our viewers, we look forward to seeing you at NERI. #NERI. Thank you so much.